And what's up, everybody? It's Joey Bags. So, unfortunately, tonight I'm not bringing you a live stream. I'm just kind of out of it. It's almost 1 a.m. already. It's been a long day, but I did want to bring you a quick video. So let's just get right into our main screen here. So I have been on some more Le Mans Ultimate. Super early this morning, I had gotten a notification on my phone about a video that Dan Suzuki had put up. And I don't know if he figured it out. I don't know where he got the info from. But apparently the plugins for R Factor 2, because this is the base, the base of this game comes from R Factor 2, work with Le Mans Ultimate. And in realizing that, he was able to add widgets. Now, using this really nifty little piece of software, let's see if I can go ahead and pull it up for you guys right here. So this is called Tiny Pedal. I'm going to put a link in the description to his video where he explains all of it. Where to get the software, the Tiny Pedal, where to get the little add-ons that you have to put in from his Discord. Just follow his video and you'll have it up and running in minutes. So this is the little widget called, well, the little app called Tiny Pedal. And this has all of these widgets that you can run overlaid on Le Mans Ultimate and also R Factor 2. Now, he did say that in order to get this to show up on the screen, you have to be either running in windowed or borderless. I switched it to borderless and everything worked fine. I had originally had it at full screen and nothing was showing up. As soon as I changed it to borderless, everything was working well. And as you can see here, it may be a little bit hard to view in the video, but you can see here, battery, brake bias, brake pressure, brake temp, cruise, damage, delta best extended, DRS. These are all little widgets that you can turn on and off to have on your screen, which is super awesome. For me, and if you've watched any of my videos already of Le Mans Ultimate, or if you've watched any of the live streams, my biggest gripe, my biggest gripe has been lack of radar. It would be so much better if I had radar. So before I shot this video, I went ahead and I set this up, got into a race in Spa. I only kept to this GTE cars. And I have to tell you, it was 1,000 times better. It actually made this enjoyable to race on. I'm still going to go with my criticisms of it really feels, running the GTEs, it's kind of gives me that feel of ACC, when I'm looking at it, the quality of the graphics, and not to say it's bad. I expected more. And maybe I'm wrong for expecting more on a beta, but sue me. Whatever. It is what it is. But it gives me that ACC feel. With this radar, oh my god, it's so much better. We can continue on with the criticisms. The sound, it's just missing something. Everybody online seems to be super fragile when it comes to giving your criticism of this beta. Nobody wants to hear criticism of the beta. It sounds like, honestly, the way people are getting in comment sections that, oh my god, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. No, it's not. It's a beta and it has issues that it needs to fix. And this is why it's early access. The sounds, honestly, AMS2 sounds better. I'm trying to figure out, but it's got this AMS2 GT7, it has this thing, it's a guttural feel that when you're racing, I don't know if it's because it's extra bassy, but it makes you want to race. When you're hearing those engine sounds, it makes you want to be in the car. This, it's not bad, but it doesn't give me that, it doesn't give me that race lust. It's just kind of, okay, it sounds good, but it doesn't have that little something that just makes you want it. But now having this little extra widget, this radar, kind of eases a few other, issues that I had with it and made racing quite enjoyable, especially, you know, now that you can kind of see. I still don't have a virtual mirror. I would love to have a virtual mirror so I can see what, who's coming up behind me. But at least now with the radar, I know who's coming up behind me. I know who's to either side of me. It gives you can go ahead and you can set up how large you want the circles, if you want the circles, what color you want for whatever reason. So like if they're, kind of close to you, it's yellow. If it's getting super close, it's red. And I'm sure there's other colors, but I just kind of left it default just to try to use it. So like I was saying, there's a ton of other little widgets here that you can go ahead and play with. And it's like super awesome. There's this module here where I guess it's reading all this telemetry, so that way you can put it in, on the widget. Go ahead, play with it, maybe look it up, maybe look up a YouTube video. I'm not really getting too deep into it because the only thing I wanted was the radar. That was actually the only thing that I was concerned with, was the radar. Only thing I wanted. So I'm super happy that I have it. When you start it up, you can go ahead, show it startup, like you can go ahead and set this so when you turn on your computer, everything goes. When you close it, it minimizes to the tray and you don't have to worry about it. I did follow some of the things that Dan Suzuki had said. Lock overlay, you may want to keep that unchecked so that way you can move the overlays around to make it comfortable for you. Auto hide, you may want to uncheck that so that way you can see it, as you can see right here. As soon as I click that, it popped up here, and now you can see two maps, but this is just kind of because it was there. The second map is the video that I'm about to play in the background, so we'll turn that back off. So let's go ahead and minimize this, and we'll get into some gameplay so that way you can see what I'm talking about. So as you can see here, I've got two GTEs here to my left, and I've got some LMPs, I think that's what I set, here in front of me, and you can kind of see all the cars. You can go into the settings and set exactly how far the refresh. So I follow Dan Suzuki, and with the refresh, I set it to 30 frames, so that way it refreshes more often, it's smoother. I left everything else kind of the basic, default. So it's showing me, cars that you can set how far the distance you want to see cars in front of you, behind you, to the sides of you. So if you want something just tight right next to you, you can go ahead and set that. If you want something a little bit farther out and you want to see a few cars in front of you, a few cars behind you, you can go ahead and do that. This is actually a really, really awesome widget that you may want to go ahead and try. But let's go ahead and get into some gameplay here. Now, I was using AMD to record this, so if there's a few stutters, I'm sorry, that's the AMD software. But you can see here, hopefully it's not too loud for you guys.
Green,
and you can see all the cars here. I'm that little red car right in the middle. Let's go ahead and let me see, maybe lower this a bit. Hopefully the sound is pretty good for you guys, not over. So you can see it turned red because the cars next to me are super close. Now having the full track map, the top corner is actually not too bad. It's really not that intrusive. So leaving it up there is not that big of a deal. Yes, you have the one here on the left hand side, but that's kind of just showing you who's right next to you. I mean, as you can see, it's now showing me cars that are coming up behind me. They're coming up super quick. Those must be GTEs, because usually the LMPs come up really, really fast. Like I've seen it come up on that radar and it's like coming after you quick. You may see it in a bit, maybe within the next lap or two. So I just went ahead and recorded about 10. I honestly thought this was a short 13-minute race that I had set. I guess when I clicked adding in the additional cars, I did not notice it went to 4.5 hours, and I was not going to sit here for 4.5 hours. So I did about 10 minutes worth of racing. I stayed in first place in the GTE class pretty much the whole time, so I just kind of, you know, stopped after those 10 minutes. Now, the slowdown that you're seeing is the AMD capture software. This is not indicative of my system and how it looks. This is strictly the playback from the AMD capture. Normally, this is super smooth, and I have no issues with stuttering whatsoever. But as you can see, it auto hides. It's kind of similar. I have the same radar, well, a similar radar in Assetto Corsa, and I love the fact that, you know, it just hides when there's nobody around you, and as you're coming up to people, it pops back up and shows you, you know, who's there. You know, for in front of you, you're not really so much. But being the view that I'm in, and the fact that I really don't move left or right my visuals to see, which maybe it's a bad habit that I need to break. Seeing who's coming up behind me and on what side they are is a bit nicer, especially to avoid collisions and avoid those F moments that's like, ah, you know, damn it. You know, I didn't notice them at my back quarter and I just clipped the bumper and it sent me off to the side. I know this is going to be a little anticlimactic now because I don't, there we go. So as you can see, GTE LMP2 is coming up behind me, and you can see how fast they're coming up. You see that? I mean, there's just no, and yeah, that was my bad. I tapped them a little bit. But quite honestly, this really was a must needed addition. I am like absolutely happy with this widget right here. This I think is something that's now going to add, I know it's something small, and you know, some people think, oh, it's insignificant, a little radar. Honestly, as a quality of life addition, I find it very useful, and it really did improve my enjoyment of this title. You know, if, like I said, if you watch some of my other videos, like one of my biggest gripes is I don't have a radar. So when I've got cars bunching up to either side or behind, you know, to either side and behind me where I can't quite see them, it's a pain in the ass, especially when, you know, AI wants to go, you know, 2 and 3 wide into corners. And I'm trying to keep my line. Now, so much easier to keep that line. So much easier. You know, I know exactly where they are. I have to say, the title isn't bad. It does have a few things that, you know, they're going to need to improve on, which is, I mean, good. We're in early access, aka beta. So all of these 26.95. All of these little things we can go ahead and, you know, let the devs know to get them sorted out, you know, make additions, make changes. I mean, it's a good thing. Paying $33 for a beta, I'm hoping that maybe we'll get some DLC that, you know, early adopters will just get, you know, hopefully. There's crossing my fingers that that'll happen. And you can see another, you can see now they're coming up, and when they're close, this is so much better. Like, this is such a quality of life improvement that now it's like, okay, you know what, let me run a little bit of Le Mans Ultimate. It's maybe not the best looking, maybe not the best sounding, but this adds an extra layer that does make it enjoyable. And I can only imagine that, you know, if or when I start playing online, because I mean, I'm really not too interested, but anyone who is interested and they do play multiplayer online, this is a benefit. I mean, I really can't see this as a negative. I really don't. You know, it's such a small, lightweight piece of software that I saw absolutely zero zero resources or extra resources being used that I'm like, oh look, I'm getting slowed down because I have this overlay going. No, I saw zero hampering of frames per second, of smoothness. There was really nothing negative about running this. It was strictly positive. So this is super cool and it's free. I mean, so huge shout out to Dan Suzuki. I don't know if he figured it out. I don't know if somebody told him. However it happened, I am glad he put it out there. If you're on Le Mans Ultimate, it's definitely something you should take a look at, just because I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy it. And with that, let's see, I think I went over this in a 223.
That time was a
yep.
2:23.2.
Probably one of my fastest laps in Spa on any sim. Well, minus using the super hot nasty NSX in Assetto Corsa. That's like a 211, but I don't think that really counts. But guys, thank you for watching. As always, thank you for taking the time. I'm honored. Thank you. And I will I'm gonna forego the usual smashing and liking and all this. You guys know what to do. If you want to do it, awesome. If you don't, that's okay with me. But thank you for watching. Thank you for spending the time with me. And I'll catch ya either on the next video or on the next live stream. Maybe tomorrow, or maybe Friday night. Stay tuned. I hope you hit that notification bell so you'll know. And guys, peace out.